The Valorant meta is batshit crazy right now, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We're seeing agents like Neon, Iso, and Deadlock finally see more play. But after watching jawgemo break people's ankles this past weekend on Neon, did Riot take things a little too far?
Alright, so before we get into today's video, I just want to thank our sponsor, Acer. Now that the weather is nice, you don't want to be stuck at your desk all day, but finding a laptop that can do the heavy lifting from elsewhere can be challenging. Acer's Nitro V laptop comes with an Intel Core i7 processor and a GeForce RTX 4060 graphics card that can handle anything you throw at it. The 15.6-inch full HD display clocks in at 144 Hz refresh rate, which means no more ghosting, only the sharpest image you can get. And for the smoothest experience for gaming and working from anywhere, the Nitro comes with dual fan cooling, AI-enhanced noise reduction, and an adjustable backlit keyboard. If any of that sounds like your cup of tea, head over to bestbuy.com or check out the link in the description.
If you've played any Valorant lately, then you've definitely seen plenty of Neon and Iso, because back in patch 8.11, they received some serious buffs. To sum up the important things, Neon can now strafe at full speed while sprinting and has 2 slides where she can have her gun out and no weapon movement error. And Iso could activate double tap and gain a shield without having to kill an enemy, and the ability reset after getting 2 kills. I say could because double tap is receiving a nerf in episode 9, removing the reset and reducing the duration of his shield from 20 seconds to 12. Now this is just a small portion of some larger changes that Riot has made to the duelist role as a whole. They even nerfed Raze movement and made some slight changes to Reyna. Prior to these changes, Raze was a dominant pick for most teams on most maps, so it makes sense that Riot wanted to give her some nerfs. I think that she probably needed a nerf, so personally I'm okay with these changes. We're finally seeing some diversity now that the patch has hit pro play, and to me that's exciting. But pre-nerf Iso and Neon are busted.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining. A.
Activated.
Gotta go.
This character is busted.
It still doesn't make sense.
I'm out of here.
Like the window when you're accurate is so.
It's you're always accurate, like the whole window.
Now in ranked, it makes sense that everybody's picking Iso. Even I enjoyed sometimes locking him in, just turning my brain off and clicking heads. But he doesn't really bring much to your team, even though that shield can feel very strong. But what I didn't expect was for so many pro teams to actually pick Iso this stage. At the pro level, utility usage is so well coordinated, and spamming smokes is extremely common compared to ranked, so chip damage can be everything. But despite this, we've seen teams from around the world locking him in to varied levels of success.
Loud ready for a refight though again. Look at the proactivity off the chart to get the double tap. Refresh! jawgemo! Sky can't be removed, the raid boss, but finally.
Now obviously we expected an experimental team like Paper Rex to pick Iso, like of course they would. But after EG's win versus Loud, jawgemo did mention that he was considering playing Iso even before the buffs. Unfortunately, Potter told him that he couldn't do it unless EG made playoffs, which obviously didn't happen, so we had to wait until stage 2. And this isn't that surprising considering they made a similar deal when Potter allowed him to play Deadlock during VCT kickoff as a reward for winning champions. But after interviewing jawgemo a couple months back, I honestly wouldn't be surprised seeing him play any agent.
I mean, I play Deadlock, so I'll be that guy if I have to, you know? Like I love every new character that comes out. It makes the game fresh, so that's why I enjoy like any new character.
That being said, despite playing agents like Iso and Deadlock, Jaw's true calling is on movement agents, so I was dying to see him on the newly buffed Neon. We all know that he's a world-class Raze, and boy did he deliver on Neon.
Loud in shambles in terms of how they want to play this one, and they can't get a hand to jawgemo! It is pure filth, man! Josh has left real and he's almost pulled the headset off his head. What am I watching? Dude, I mean, I don't know. What am I watching? I don't know. Forget the tactical shooter label. They released Valorant 2! Dude, it's an arena shooter now. jawgemo's playing Valorant 2! You TF2 fans, we are so back. What is this? He's crossed him up so bad. That is actually crazy.
This guy was just snapping Loud's ankles throughout all of map 2, and I have to agree with Bala that Potter should just keep him on Neon, because what he did on Sunday was just absolutely filthy. Not only are we entering a Neon meta, but we're entering a jawgemo meta. He had his fun on ISO, but I suspect to see him back on agents like Raze, Neon, and Jet for the rest of the stage. And for those of you who are sick of all the NA glazing, yes, I'm aware that there are other top Neons worldwide like Miniboo who are just as fun to watch.
One side, one side. Go slide on him, bro.
Slide there!
Oh, wait. Go east.
No!
But I think broadly speaking, this is a very exciting time for Valorant. We're witnessing a massive meta shift that's affecting both ranked and pro play. Neon has always been an agent that changes the way certain maps are played, which is fun to see. I also enjoy the fact that Clove has become an increasingly popular pick on Icebox in particular, because in the right hands, they're lethal.
2 years. Holding it down. The pre-fire Superman. Maybe he shouldn't be getting away with this one. He's left it to the 1v1. Superman comes online at exactly the right time.
Viper is basically a given on Icebox, but if you have another aggressive controller player who's able to frag out, then Clove is a great option and can replace some of the omens and harbors that we often see.
I think Clove's ult and movement speed is absolutely insane. And also the refreshing smokes while you're dead, I think is also really, really good. So I think there's gonna be some teams that do adopt Clove in the future.
With the addition of Clove, the Viper nerfs a couple months back, these duelist changes, and a new map, Valorant feels fresh to me right now, which is great. I was doing some pretty unhealthy old school RuneScape grinds, but this has given me a reason to want to jump back into the game rather than just watching all the pro matches. Do I think Neon is maybe a bit too overtuned? Yeah, probably. But that's okay. If Riot needs to make some tweaks to certain agents as the meta gets properly fleshed out, then I think that's all right. We now have Neon who can hard entry onto sites and compete with Raze, and on the opposite side, we're starting to see more Deadlocks who might be able to help shut down these new Neon players. But right now, I think we're entering one of the most exciting metas Valorant has ever seen. So hopefully that doesn't age like milk and we see Neon dominate the game for an entire year like Chamber. Right, guys? Right? I can't rely on movement, dude. I'm getting old. I'm becoming a boomer in esports. I think it's easier to become an okay Neon player than an okay Raze player. But I think mastering both agents probably takes a similar level of dedication and skill.